Hi guys, today I'm excited to take you through a breakdown of my iPhone video setup. You'll see most of the gear I use, learn how it all works together and what everything actually does. So stick around. Everything you're going to see here I've chosen to be multi-purpose. It works in various different configurations. I like things to be modular. When I travel, I don't want a lot of single-use accessories. It's taken a while to collect all the pieces. Some things I've bought, some things were sent to me, but it's all come together now, and I'm excited to put it to use. Look in the video description for links you can use to jump to specific sections in the video if you want, and also links to the various products. Let's get started. When I first started experimenting with the video capabilities of an iPhone, I was using the iPhone SE. The first video I posted was shot with nothing but the iPhone SE and Filmic Pro. It was graded in DaVinci Resolve, and that was the beginning of my exploration of what can be achieved in post with iPhone-originated video. That video has over 250,000 views so far and kicked off this whole adventure. I didn't have any accessories back then, but the first thing I wanted was a way to use ND filters to control exposure in bright sunlight. The PolarPro Iris ND filter system has proven to be that solution. The PolarPro Iris system consists of this spring-loaded holder that fits on just about any phone, and it fits over most phone cases as well. Then there are a wide range of interchangeable ND filters from ND8 all the way up to ND256. These are excellent quality ND filters and have never given me issues with color shift. The whole kit fits in this case, and my only criticism is that I can't read which filter is which without picking it out and turning it over. In any case, this is an excellent quality ND filter solution that doesn't require anything else, and it is close to universal as you'll find. It's light enough to be used with the phone on most common smartphone gimbals, but you'll probably need a counterweight. This is the Helium Core. It's literally the core of the whole rig, because it's the interface between the phone and everything else you're going to see here. By removing 4 screws, you can remove this top plate and place the phone in the cage. Then replace the plate and tighten the screws. I have the version with the 37mm lens mount, because my Moondog Labs lens has a 37mm mount. The thing I like most about the Helium Core is how solidly designed and built it is. To me, it's a work of art as much as it is functional. It's entirely machined from aerospace grade aluminium and black anodized for a durable finish. This brings me to the Moondog Labs Anamorphic adapter. The lens screws right onto the 37mm lens mount of the Helium Core. The lens does rotate, so there's a bracket which aligns and holds the lens in place. The bracket does push the Moondog Labs 52mm filter adapter forward and can cause problems with the edge of the adapter creeping into frame, but it hasn't been much of an issue for me. The filter adapter clamps in place and lets you mount any 52mm threaded filter you want. There are 3 filters from Moondog Labs, a 2-stop ND4, a 3-stop ND8, and a 4-stop ND16. I often stack these in bright daylight. I generally prefer the Tiffen filters. I also have a 52mm Tiffen ND9, which gives a 3-stop reduction. It just threads right onto the filter adapter. Recently I've begun to shoot with a circular polarizer. This is a Tiffen CPL, and it threads onto the filter adapter or stacked on top of an ND filter. The front of the filter rotates to change the polarization angle, and this reduces flares and reflections depending on the angle. The next filter I want to show you is my Tiffen Black Pro Mist. This is one of my favorite filters. It's a diffusion filter which softens extreme highlights and reduces contrast. This is a 1/8 Black Pro Mist, which only has a subtle effect on the image. These are two step-up rings. One is 37mm to 52mm, and there's also a 52mm to 67mm. The 37mm to 52mm lets me use any combination of these 52mm filters without having to use the Moondog Labs Anamorphic lens and filter adapter. I can just thread the 37mm to 52mm step-up ring directly onto the 37mm lens mount on the Helium Core, and then use whichever 52mm filters I need. So these step-up rings let me use any combination of my filters, whether I want to shoot anamorphic or not. The last of the filters I'm going to show you today are two excellent variable ND filters from PolarPro. They come in two different strengths. One is a 2 to 5 stop, and there's also a 6 to 9 stop. If you're interested in seeing how the PolarPro variable ND filters perform compared to most of the well-known competing variable ND filters, take a look at Gerald Undon's comparison video. You can find the link in the video description. They come in these great looking boxes, and inside you'll find a hard case with the filter inside. You also get this protective grippy cover, which not only protects the filter, it also helps to thread the filter on and off. There's also a filter pouch inside with a microfiber cloth, and that's what I'll be using more than the hard cases when traveling. One of the great things about the PolarPro variable NDs is that you have actual stop markings, which tell you exactly how much ND you're using just by looking. So that's the 52mm Tiffen Black Pro Mist on the Moondog Labs filter adapter with a 52mm to 67mm step-up ring to mount the variable ND. The 6 to 9 stop is the same. You get the same hard case, protector, and soft pouch inside. I can't move on without mentioning the Joby Gorillapod. I'm sure you've got one of these already. This is one of the most versatile things I have. It's small, light, and lets me mount the phone in the Helium Core just about anywhere. This is my ColorChecker. It makes my post workflow possible and lets me normalize most of the iPhone's tone mapping and color inconsistency out of the image. It gives you a white balance target, also white, middle gray, and black level reference, and of course red, green, blue, cyan, magenta, and yellow chips, skin tone chips, and more gray shades. Now before I get into the big gimbal, I want to show you the Moza Mini S. Moza had previously sent me the Mini Me, which is one of the best smartphone gimbals I've used. I recently uploaded a video giving some gimbal tips with the Moza Mini S. The gimbal tips are universal, but this is the gimbal I used in that video. When I want to stay small and light, maybe just with the phone and the PolarPro Iris ND filters, I use this gimbal. As well as folding in half, a counterweight isn't needed with the Moza Mini S when using the ND filters. This is because the phone doesn't sit right up against the tilt motor, so it can slide past the motor until it's in a balanced position. And no smartphone gimbal will accommodate the Helium Core with lens and filters, which leads me to the final piece of this puzzle. Now let's take a look at the big gimbal. This is the Feiyu Tech AK4500. So Feiyu Tech reached out to me and asked if I wanted to test a gimbal. The AK4500 really stood out to me for a number of reasons. So here it is, I got my bigger gimbal, which has brought all of these other tools together into one rig. I'll run through the setup of the gimbal in detail in a separate video. I just want to highlight the features that are significant to me. Firstly, of course, as I've mentioned, it accommodates the Helium Core with the anamorphic lens and filters. A heavier gimbal with stronger motors means better response and smooth movement in a wide range of conditions. The second handle position makes shooting low shots very comfortable, and transitions from low to high positions is easy and smooth. The second handle is not just a second handle, it's also a secondary wireless controller. When not attached to the gimbal, it can be used to control the gimbal movement wirelessly, and it has a phone mount for mounting a smartphone to the controller. That opens up all kinds of possibilities for two-operator use. There's also a follow focus motor that you can see here is engaged with a gear ring I've placed around the edge of the variable ND filter. The focus motor can be controlled either by the knob on the gimbal handle or wirelessly using the second handle. Lastly, the AK4500 has a motion lapse mode. All of this means this isn't just a gimbal for stabilizing moving shots, it's also a wireless remote head and can add some real dynamics to time lapses. So that's my setup. I'll take a closer look at most of the items in separate dedicated videos, especially the filters and the Feiyu Tech AK4500 gimbal. Let me know what you think, and if you have any questions about any of this, please leave me a comment. I'm always going to respond. Let me know what you'd like to see covered in more detail in other videos. So that's it for now. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your support. Catch you the next time I've got a video to share. Thanks for watching.